Batman Chris.
Just yeah. Cha-cha, Charido.
It's for Eldridge.
And it's girl up boy, yeah.
Wait for the dough. Girl, I want you wait for the dough. Wait for the dough. Make your booty bounce for the
Just I wanna give you good loving, I don't wanna buy 10 flow. Girl, love like chicken fella, baby Jack and chicken. So, girl, you all I want and all I need, oh. I'm loving you, you loving me, oh. And love that we were meant to be, oh. And I am a beep, 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 beep. Cause you got me, I.
you got me,
Your body on course, loving you is of course. Yeah, my baby on a note. Come to my room, let me compose. Yeah, your body on course, loving you is of course. Yeah, my baby on a note.
come to my room, let me compose. Yeah.
She a body bad and we know so. The way you slay everything gon' flick. And I want your body right now, nah.
Goddamn, I'm so complete.
You got the juice, you got the sauce, we know. They say they bad, nobody bad out. Come show me love, come spot the dada. Rock all the waves for me and Jaja. Girl, I want you, come give me love, come give me loving. Come give me kiss, come do the rubbing. Show me the style, no too much talking. When we rock here and crazy, and we do the
You
fucking.
got me,
You got me,
your body on course, loving you is of course. Yeah, my baby on a note. Come to my room, let me compose. Yeah, your body on course, loving you is of course. Yeah, my baby on a note.
come to my room, let me compose. Yeah.
You got me wishing, yeah, wishing every day just to be with you. Baby, wait for me, yeah. I wanna take you go far away to the moon. The way your body go, wine for me slow, baby, keep the show. Yeah. And girl, I wanna know anything you need, maybe let me know. Yeah. Jelly, Adam with Eve, you made me eat the apple. Tashi, on my love, take it to the auto. Come in the market, asking for tin up. Fire your penny in my head, man, you shot shooter. Break, and slow one for me. Anytime you want, just call me. Turn around, dance for me. Don't make the ball for your love, then you got me,
You got me,
your body on course, loving you is of course. Yeah, my baby on a note. Come to my room, let me compose. Yeah.
your body on course. Loving you is of course. Yeah, my baby on a note. Come to my room, let me compose.
Yeah, beats.
They say I love money, penny.
Oh, you say you like money, baby.
So many say they can't love money, penny.
They can't like money, baby. You like not penny.
Well, I what if money can do? 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 Well, I what if money can do? 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 I put my money in a red bank. Before I was buying the money, I left my money in a red bank. Hey, I never see it from there. They can't love my style, but the money can concentrate them. Hey, please my please my oh. How did I now please my please my oh. How did I now please my Can be a daguna? You a daguna? You be a daguna? You don't get more like you wanna daguna. Today una pay us you call. Looking for it. I see money making I can see that to the looking for it.
Can be a daguna. You a daguna. You don't get more like
Well, what if money can do? 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 Well, what if money can do? down, monkey calm down, monkey calm down. If my kabagi, they say you want me calm down, monkey calm down, monkey calm down. Money for head, Papa ground. Monkey calm down, monkey calm down. You're a monkey sweating, now I calm down. Monkey calm down. What if money can do? 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 Well, what if money can do? What if money can do? What if money can do? What if money can do?
We all know the headache we go through sending money to our loved ones, friends, and family in Liberia. High fees, long lines in banks, the usual complaint of the system being down, such a waste of time and energy. That is why I was very happy when I learned that SendWave is now in Liberia. So now I can send money anytime from anywhere directly from my smartphone to the MTN Lone Star Cell mobile money account of a loved one, friend, or family within seconds for just a tiny fee. So download SendWave now to your phone from your Apple Store or Google Play Store. Add your details, and don't worry, they are very safe and secure. And start sending money today. Don't forget to insert the promo code COSTA to get free $5 credit added to your first transfer. SendWave is secure, super fast, and by far the most affordable way to send money to Liberia. I'm Henry P. Costa and a very happy customer. Thank you.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome. Depends on what part of the globe you are. You know, we have some of our brothers in Asia, some in Europe, Australia, the Americas, and every part of some part of Africa. Let me say good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to the Costa Show. Today is Thursday, and it's the 14th day of the 9th month, AD 2023. We have exactly 26 more days to go to the general and presidential election. Once again, 26 more days to go. Welcome, wherever you are. Boakai Amara Kamara is my name. I am not here alone. I'm here with my friend and brother, Darlington Collins, who's there in the great United States of America. Let me say good morning, Darlington. Welcome to the Costa Show.
Good morning, Boyka, and good morning to our listeners on this Thursday morning presentation of the Costa Show. Yes, indeed, 26 more days to elections. Very interesting. 26 more days as the National Elections Commission announces the arrival of campaign electoral materials into the country. So 26 more days, Boyka.
You know, Darlington, it started back then when in 2017, when it used to tell our brothers in government that, my man, they think do not correct. They will tell you, say, my man, you get whole 6 years to go and be talking at now. When you post about them, you post anything about Joshua, they will tell you, say, you just started you, the whole 6 years being you. But now we are left with 26 more days to go to the climax of the first 6 years of His Excellency President George Manawia being President of the Republic of Liberia. And Danito, I know you experienced some of these things I'm talking about with some of our friends in government.
In fact, you helping them, but I remember at the time when Mr. Weah came to power, when you criticized him, they said, but they think you'll be in like 24 years.
Sure. They said 24 years.
For 24 years, you know, when June 7 happened, then they said that 12 years. Now that the masses have turned against them, somebody commented and said 6 years are turning to 26 more days. It's not easy. It is Mr. We are those that the masses are knocking on for power. You know, the sad part, Boyka, is that, mama, if you love power, you should dare to do right. If you want 12 years uninterrupted, look, let's be honest. When Mr. Salif took over this country in 2005, we saw semblance of a working country. You know, Ellen connecting us internationally to, to the rest of the world, investors coming into the country, trying to get young people working and integrated into society. I mean, as even with the performance of the Unity Party in 2005, let's say 2011, and they couldn't pull a one-round victory. Sure. I mean, in Africa, for some reason, the masses just believe that the government is supposed to allay all of their concerns. So if you are in public office, they want to get time for how many years you want. The bread and butter issue, the first tenure the people give you is how you manage it. It's not like I tell the people that, oh, you'll give me another year, I will do better. No. What did you do with this 6 years?
Yeah.
And as popular as George Weah was in 2011, they read the show, the numbers were not numbering for them in 2011. So they started to put up political delay tactics. They said they will boycott the election here and there. They kept people to their party. All these kinds of, political excuses they were giving at the time. So the Unity Party, in as much as they performed in her first tenure, Ellen and the rest of the folks, they were disappointed, when they didn't win a one-round victory. And that is why I tell people all the time, I say, winning a one-round victory is easy to talk, but it's hard to do because 50% plus one of the population is a deep thing. Yeah, you are. Councillor Gonglo is in the race. He comes from Nimba. He will definitely come some numbers from Nimba. Mr. Cummings from the CPP is also going to come some numbers. The people from ACO obviously come some numbers. So the election definitively, there will be on October 10th, and there might be a November 8th. So Liberians, we should brace ourselves. Mr. Weah, I see he's all over the place explaining. You were explaining tired with no evidence, as they say. The man is talking about, he will not run for third term because the respect of democracy. And Joel Howard Taylor will step up to the occasion to complete his.
Oh yeah, so the man saying but before we go to that, a lot of things happening in Darlington. Today, Mr. Alexander Cummings is launching his official campaign in Margibi County. The Alternative National Congress and CPP at large, they are launching their campaign. They are launching a campaign today in how they call the place, Margibi County. So we thought it wise in letting you guys know, and we wish them well, and we hope it become a successful program. The last time when CDC were having a rally, we talk about it here on the show. We wish the collaborative political parties well as they go about launching their official campaign today there in Margibi County. So they are saying that they want to decentralize politics. They don't want to use the Antoinette Totman Stadium like other political parties are doing. So they say that, we will do ours in Margibi County. So today, officially, the CPP will be launching their campaign today in Margibi County. We wish the CPP officials and Mr. Alexander B. Cummings well, and we will follow it closely and give you details on everything that will be happening today on tomorrow's edition of the Costa Show. Darlington, what do you make of that? Margibi County, the CPP launching.
A critic of Alex Cummings could argue that Cummings is going to a very limited Margibi County, smaller part of the country, to launch an official campaign. Well, I don't know. But again, it's very interesting because one could say Monrovia is not Liberia, it's part of decentralization efforts, But I would think that if a serious political party want to launch a major campaign rally, you want to go to one of Liberia's populated county, you want to either do, Nimba County, you want to do Lofa or Bon County, nobody runs to Margibi and launch a campaign, Maybe again, it's a decentralization effort. You never know. Let me not criticize these people too hard before they ask me where will the LPP be launching, because that's why I don't want to criticize them too hard. But
if you want to go launch Nimatuba, like a stronghold there. So probably Margibi is the stronghold. Probably, like I said, probably Margibi is the stronghold of the CPP. That's why they are launching there. And we don't have any problem with they launching in Margibi County. Mr. Kume is trying to bring a new style of politicking here in our country. So that's why
already jam-packed population in Monserrado. Decongesting the traffic, those things are good. They are good.
Yeah, probably, and another thing again, probably Mr. Cummins within himself know already that they have overwhelmingly taking seats of Monserrado County. There's no need of they wasting their own time in Monserrado County again. So they told it wise, let's go out of Monserrado and try to get Magibi. When we add Magibi to Monserrado that we already have under our umbrella, we can put up more votes. So now Grand Bassa, according to the CPP, they having Grand Bassa already. They're trying to get Magibi and Monserrado under that umbrella. Then it will stay strong. Problem is Okumi becomes
Monserrado, in fact, in Liberia, one of the counties that is very hard to spell at Monserrado. Growing up as a kid, I struggled for some reason to learn how to spell Monserrado. Until I put it in syllables, right? You spell Mon, you spell Sir, you spell Rado. Because politically, it's not easy. The people of Monserrado County, they are very unpredictable. It's not easy to say you will get Monserrado on your control easily. It's not that easy, Bueka. So, it's not easy. It's easily said than done. But from the look of things, I think Monserrado always, in Liberia political past, has always been the base of the major opposition political party.
Yeah.
It was the CDC who dominated Monserrado County political space from 2005 up to 2017 or 2018, it has been the CDC. So Monserrado from the imprints, from the writings that are clearly printed on the wall, Monserrado could be a safe space for the Unity Party. I want to say that clearly because it's not easy. It's not easy.
No, my man, we have other opposition political parties up until we can conduct the elections on October 10. I think the Monserrado County can fall for the ANC.
One thing about the Monserrado County thing, every time we talk about the Monserrado County thing and Dillon winning twice, and to their credit, our friends from the CPP can say, "But it was through our efforts, we're all your collaboration." So you never know. And to be fair, I think the CPP had a rally on Stephen Tobo on Wednesday, and District 11, District 12, District 13 came together on Stephen Tobo STF, and the news they are reporting that it was massive. It was massive turnout for Alex Cummings, somewhere there in Stephen Tobo. So maybe people can correct me if I'm wrong, but I read in the papers that Cummings crowd swells in Monserrado County. Stephen Tobo STF, Alex Cummings hosted his campaign rally there on Wednesday, and it was jam-packed, I'm told.
Yeah.
So Monserrado will be an interesting battleground to watch. It will be an interesting battleground to watch.
No, but let's just make it clear. When it comes to the CDC, I don't know why CDC keep focusing their base on Monserrado. Monserrado can let the incumbent, can let the government in power down. When it comes, don't focus your energy on Monserrado if you are a city government. I can tell you this over and over. Monserrado can let government down. Monserrado, if you're hosting a program, they will come out in a number. But when they go into the polls, forget it. Monserrado, you can rely on them. They can disappoint you. That's why you see other people can run away from here and go other counties to go and contest because they say they too much high-headed people too much here in Monserrado County. So
Monserrado County is too rational. How did they rationalize it? But Bueka, there's an interesting trend on social media. And this had caught my attention. You will see that citizens in their CDC paraphernalia, they will wear the CDC beret and t-shirt, but a lot of them have been posting video that they are not supporting Mr. Weir, they are supporting JMB. You see, they will wear the CDC t-shirt and beret. I don't know whether you have came across some of those videos.
Yeah.
And they are talking that they will not vote Mr. Weir. My man, the we that we knew before, my man, yeah. When you talk to some of your friends in CDC, the guys are worried. In fact, they are not only worried, they are weary. It's not easy. My man, with less than 26 more days to election, the people are requesting on Mr. Weah for power. They say that he didn't manage the state, rightfully so in 6 years. Look, Brecker, Ellen Johnson Sirleaf took over the country in 2005 and increased civil servant salary at about over 400%. My man, civil servants to be making $15, $20. Ellen put it to 150.
Yeah.
In 2011, when Ellen was going for re-election, there was still a lot of debates over Ellen re-election. Imagine Ellen raising civil servant pay from $15 to $20 to $150 and 200 and change it up. And there was still contradictions in the society. What more about Mr. Weah, who came to power within less than 6 years? He landed, if I want to say, the budget building factory, the building was like in building factory. Why you want to do all the horses, Joey? So say you land say maybe you want to open your apartment complexes on outside for your rich friends who can afford it to stay. You just need to leave these people power and go manage your private property. Maybe the new government, when they come, they will open the probe so you can tell us how you work this magic. Within less than 6 months, how could your salary afford you to build that? Maybe you have more than 90 million when you're playing football. We not know. But when they open the audit, then you explain that one to the investigator. So imagine Ellen, who did that? Then we are looking and talking about how much Nazi people pay here and there. Mama, in public spaces, mama, especially with civil servants. The people, if you think the ordinary citizen angry, go to government ministry agency beyond close door. The people not even talking, they're not even having political discussion with you. They're already waiting to go take a decision. That is how far it have reached. And it's a long night for the guys in the CDC. It's a long, long night. The night, I don't know, it's about what? 8 to 12 hours of night, 8 to 10 hours. But when the guy go to bed, I'm sure somebody can probably sleep for 2 hours. While we are enjoying our sleep, Bwaga.
But man, I can be sleeping, I can be free sleeping, relax. While some men when they get out soon, they can say, oh, I 25 more days to go. So many just checking the days. But Danita, before we go to our major talking point, we're still looking at the drugs case, which will be our major talking point. We have a lot of things to talk about that case. There's this issue about the middle hash property case is in court that we need to flag a little bit, and this judge James Jones is trying to favor somebody in this case, and we will not sit here and allow other people to go and then take somebody property that belongs to them and take entire control over it. This case been in court, and the judge the judge that is sitting over this case in person of James Jones is trying to get something to somebody that doesn't earn what they should be having.
In fact, even one of the lawyers who is representing Hash has been writing and CC copying the Chief Justice on court documents. It is very rare and uncommon that when a case is before a trial court, it is within that authority of the court that is reviewing the matter. You cannot be in court with a particular issue and you be CC capping other appellate courts about a current trial court proceedings. I don't think that's ethical. Maybe I am wrong. Maybe they do it differently in Liberia. It's like in a trial court. So what they have not reached out to to maybe the Supreme Court level for the Chief Justice and the full bench to be aware or abreast about what is happening. If they want to know, they can know. But you should, Arthur Johnson or other people who are representing Hash should not be ceasing capping or other people on the communication or trying to have a full, we know how rulings get, swing in our country and overturn in certain quarters by certain people. Like you said, and Bueka, we're going to keep an eye on the Hash Estate case, and we're going to give you fresh updates day by day on the case, especially to see where this judge want to go. We don't know, especially with airspace. But there are possibilities of fear about how he might rule. So we'll all be on the show to bring you fresh updates on that.
Yeah, and Arlington, there's this article. I just want to read a few bars of it on our scene case. Then we can just move on to our major talking point. This one is the enforcement of the Supreme Court mandate to close the Tester estate of the late Miller Arrow Hatch now rests with Judge James. That's James E. Jones of the Depth Court. James E. Jones, he's there at the Depth Court, and who is the special assigned judge to the matter. But speaking to Hot Pepper newspaper recently, the mother of Noah Hash Menza, Edith Hash Smith, claimed that the records show that Judge Jones has allowed, listen to this part, has allowed all of the mandates, that's all of the mandated deadlines, all of the mandated deadlines to slip on Umu, the girlfriend of the late Miller Arrow Hatch, appears to be defiant and disrespectful to the highest court with impunity. Hatch Smith said, for example, the Supreme Court mandated Umu and the creator to provide proper accounting. That's proper accounting for their administration of Tester Estate from 2014. They been asking them, you say you have a document, you're are the owner of this particular property. You're that the girlfriend talking says she's the owner of the property here. She's the one saying she's the owner of the property. While the man's wife and children are there, they are not getting the money that they should be getting from said property. But the girlfriend is the one claiming getting all of the money from the. You see that long hash store like in real there. All the money they collecting from there, they giving it to Umu. Then the person that's supposed to be benefiting, they are not benefiting. Then the judge, James Jones, is sitting there allowing such a thing to happen under his watch. And we librarians, we don't even say get time for our own librarian sister. Somebody else is there eating her sweat while the man is no longer alive. They are right on this lady Darlington. And this thing, we are calling on the Depco Judge James Jones. We are watching this case and will let you know that if anything happens, if you don't take steps since 2014, the case been in front of you, you can't do anything about it because you are benefiting from such case. Somebody giving you money, you are benefiting from it, and you are playing blind eye into this particular case. We are warning you. They're just a warning shot we are giving you now. If you don't take action now, everything will come.
It is sad for people who were oppressed yesterday to be now the oppressors of today. Because I followed this Hash estate case for a very long time. And Umu Hash, at some point in time, with the Milan Hash, the brothers from the brother side, they wanted to trample upon her right to scrape her off, certain properties that were left within the estate. Because there are two Liberian women here who have children by Milan Hash. Yeah. So Umu has been, the executress for the property. She's been managing the property, collecting money, and so forth for the property and so forth. So this other woman, this other Noah Hash, she is the mother of the oldest child of the Hash estate. And she's a Liberian mother who is crying on Umu. The court have instructed Umu and her lawyers, Costa Johnson, to do a full proper accounting about how they have been managing the estate. But Umu has been collecting rent. This woman has not been receiving her own share of the property or her own payments from the estate. It has been in court, and it should be adjudicated before the debt court. But it appears that, like the Hot Pepper article is saying that the judge has been allowing Umu to go back on a lot of dates, especially with the date that she's supposed to report. She has not been reporting to the court, especially with accounting records of how they have been managing, the case. Maybe she or lawyers need to get their accountant. We don't know how long they're going to get their book ledger together to take it before the court so they can know, the proceeds from the Hash estate. But for this judge to be allowing her, because when normally when judges give you a timeline to say you must report to this court in 2 weeks, if you don't report to this court in 2 weeks, it is disrespect of the court. Only the court have the right to say we'll give you an extension.
Yeah.
And the court normally will not give you go back on her word. Normally, that's why they'll ask you. If you the defendant or the plaintiff, they'll say it's 2 weeks enough for you to put this document together. If you said 2 weeks is not enough, you need more. The judge, in his reasonable discretion, will probably say, okay, you can use a month. So when the time they show for you to bring that document, if you don't bring it, it could be labeled as contempt of court. But for Umu to be uprightly disrespecting the court, and the court is not even angry, that's very interesting. The judge who is presiding over this matter should be righteously angry with Umu Hash. Why she is not providing information about the estate or the accounting of the estate, and the timeline has been backdating from the time she's supposed to bring it. She's not been bringing it. The court is not angry about Umu disrespecting their ruling, so we don't know what is going on.
All right, we just thought it wise to let you guys know we will be following the case, and we are calling on the debt coach Josh James Jones. You are on our radar. We are watching you closely, and this is just a warning to you and your team there at the debt court. We will not say it. Every day we come on the show, we'll make sure to give you an update like we are giving update on the Gloria Scott case. We'll be giving you update. Anything that is happening in that case, James Jones of the debt court, you have to respect yourself. I'm saying this again. You have to respect yourself and rule in this case. Since 2014, this particular case been in front of you. Why are you wasting time? Why is it that it's so difficult for you to then make a decision in this case? Why? Now when people say the judicial system is terrible, these are some of the people that are causing it. These are some of the people. Why would Judge Jones not want to make a decision in the case? A girlfriend is relying on a wife. Can you imagine that, Darlington? Liberia, it's an interesting country.
That's a deep entanglement. That's a deep legal entanglement.
Yeah, but we'll stop here on this. And like we said, the DEPCO judge, James Jones, you are on our radar. We are monitoring you, and we'll be here on the show letting you know that everything that is occurring in our court, we are following it closely here at the Costa Show. We'll stop here for today. Tomorrow we'll come back here again. We'll flag it out tomorrow. What will happen today in that case? So, Darlington, there have been a burglary at the Rabos International Airport. Burglary at the custom office of the Rabos International Airport. Let's make that clear. Burglary at the custom office of the Rabos International Airport, where they took the moringa herbs. According to
the custom office, the custom office is at the Rabos International Airport.
What? Let me learn, man.
People brave in that control. People brave in that control.
So the first thing before I go on the case, we need to know how the burglary was done. I think CCTV camera need to show up, because when Joe Bucker was going out of the country, there was a CCTV footage. So those that carry on the burglary at the Rabos International Airport, most especially the custom office where the moringa herbs later became a narcotic drugs were kept. We need to know how that burglary went on, because we know that CCTV camera all on the airport. So they will not come and tell us, say, we don't know who they go about carrying out the burglary. So Darlington, this is alarming. 2 days after this news broke out, we haven't been hearing about burglary at the Rabos International Airport, but just a few days after this thing occurred, burglary at the custom office.
It is very concerning, and we don't know the full story. We only read into you what is in the media. The airport authorities, especially I know Danisha Segbe, who was an official of the LRA, had issued a statement and said that the one of the airport employees named Joe Weah. Joe Weah is involved. He is been alleged of coming to work early in the morning and breaking through the airport office from the ceiling to go into the custom office. But according to the LRA officials, there have been no items in the office that have been stolen. We cannot verify that for a fact to know whether Joe we are actually may away with some of the items, but it has been alleged that it has been said rather that Joe Weah is in the hands of the authorities and he's been investigated for burglary. So we don't know. Again, it's very rare to see that burglary will occur at the Rabos International Airport, especially with days after there have been major public outcry about moringa herb that have been brought into the country. When tested by the DEA, it was proven to show that the moringa herb have some content of methamphetamine, that was brought into the country. We don't know what the authorities are doing about that. I'm also hearing that the director of the security of the airport has been suspended. I don't have all of the facts. I don't know whether you heard that, Bueka. But I think the Rabat International authorities need to do well. As we saw, the total cooperation of the Liberian Senate, behind the confirmation of the then, airport manager Destiny Darlington Conley, how the Liberian Senate wanted to know what was happening at the airport. We want to invoke the righteous anger of the Liberian Senate to do a probe at the Rabat International Airport. What is happening with this management? Let the current management of the airport go to the Senate to explain about what is happening with this thing about drug coming into the country and all kinds of stuff. Somebody is saying the name sound, fake, but it's been reported in Front Page Africa that a young man who bust into the LRA office at the Rabat International Airport is an employee of the airport, and his name is Joe Weah. And I said Joe Weah has been arrested and placed into the hands of the authorities. He came to work early in the morning and wanted to, to take advantage of the system and see what was happening in the LRA office.
Okay, so again, another one is being reported here this yesterday. It said the suspended director of security at the Rabos International Airport, Samuel Fremont, and the cargo officer at Just Travel, Sam Sion, not the NSA male, Sam Sion, have been named as prime suspect in the RRA drug bust. Both men are now wanted by the Liberian National Police and the Drugs Enforcement Agency for drug trafficking. But listen, early this morning, I listened to the spokesperson of the LDA saying that the head of the security at the airport is in their custody. They arrested him. They do have him, and the Minister of Justice Musa Din also confirmed that the head of the security there at the airport, they do have him. So they are in search of Sam Sion, not the NSA officer. Please, we are letting you guys know, not the NSA officer.
Not the NSA deputy director, yes. Not Omen Sam Sion.
Not Omen Sam Sion, please. We are letting you guys know. So Sam Sion is an employee of Just Travel Agency, and he was also involved into this thing that happened at the Rabos International Airport. So, Darlington, this off and on, up and down, back and forth. The other person arrested. The other person is on the run. Burglary at the airport. Here we are now on the issue about a just case. Yesterday, I listened to people from other network reading out some document. We can verify that because we haven't seen it in some newspaper and media institution that we can say, oh, we can rely on to reread what they posted on their various Facebook pages, because we don't want to come here on the platform and read out something that tomorrow again it will go against us. So when you see or reading anything here, it's credible, it's something that we can rely on. We can say, yes, oh, there's an institution that we took this particular news from, and we can verify that this news is true. So we listen to few media outlets reading out some documents yesterday evening about Finabono being allegedly involved, or she was the one to go and collect the consignment from the Roberts International Airport. But them, that's what they reported yesterday. We can verify that. We are still trying to verify if it is true, if Finabono is involved in this. Once we get the hard facts in our hand, we'll let you guys know. But for now, it's alleged. We are saying alleged because we can verify it. So
and we are just citing those sources that reported it. Like Bueka said, we don't have all of the facts. You know, somebody could put together a document and bring it to the press. So before we come here and speak to that, we want to make sure, you know, again, just to have a more verifiable source about that. But Bueka, it is very concerning, you know, that the airport that should be used for as one of our port of entry is now a drug hub for a lot of things, you know, and it's not that Liberia is so unique to airport being used for drug trafficking, right? But we just see these kinds of things, and it's just back to back. Look at the young people in our country. Look at how they are already struggling with drug addiction. And it is very sad that even the airport security director, you know, the day we did a show here when we broke the news that next morning, the man was never arrested, Bueka.
Yeah.
That guy failed a low data when you waste Papa C or Dumba. It will be rare. That guy was never arrested. They were parading freely. It was just worse because they were trying to paint a picture that the Lieutenant Colley, the AFL officer who arrested the drug, was making up a story, because that's what the guy said. I listened to his press conference. He said when the MD, they wanted to make it look like it was an internal wrangling team or Gassabia in there. No. The guy was actually arrested using one of the routes. Why would they even be trying to transport moringa leaf from the tarmac and don't want to put it through the regular custom, you know, channels? They must have, that was a job done from the inside. Somebody from in the airport security might have been giving them the leeway, because normally, if you listen to the guy, when cargo goes at the Rabat International Airport on the tarmac, it is escorted by airport security to clear that consignment. And then it will go through the proper authority of the LRA. But why that all of moringa leaf came into the country, it was escorted by airport security to another exit, alternative exit, rather than the traditional LRA custom exit that they normally use for all kinds of stuff. And the guy was never arrested. So I don't know whether now they are reporting that he's in the custody of the LMP, not the LMP, but the DA. I don't know whether it is true or whether they are making up stories. But we want to encourage the Minister of Justice to investigate even more, because, again, it is all alleged. It is also alleged that when that guy was arrested, normally you will not find the authorities cannot normally get an army official to come and testify, because he's not technically a civilian. But if it was arrested through a joint security effort, they need to use their intelligence services or through joint security means to have that officer tell them the truth. Did the airport security, when they arrested him, did he say that the drug belonging to Finabono? We need to establish that clearly.
Yeah, but
because she also too need to also be investigated too by the authorities. If her name was never mentioned, if it's just coming up, then I think Mr. Sam Freeman is man enough to go to the authorities and answer his own question. Mommy, I listened to the guy's story. Oh, didn't that make sense?
And Darlington, up to now, Finabono haven't spoken to the issue yet. But President George Weah spoke about the drugs issue in our country yesterday.
Yeah, in drug in the country.
Yeah. My brain put into here what the man said.
Investigated.
Yeah. The people trying to investigate, but the president don't want to listen to that. He making your own statement. Yeah, there's a seat man that said that the people were making love in a car up Broad Street. They died in the car there. Just he couldn't wait for investigation. The president can't wait for investigation to be conducted. He can always come up with a statement. There's the president's in a remark yesterday on the issue about the same just issue that we are talking about. Listen to President George Weah.
Well, you are not there in the 12 years when they say that the director of NSA collect all the drugs there and kept it. That's what they want to say our government brought drugs. They talk about just the other day about 100 million worth of drugs that came to Liberia. Liberian people in a simple English. When that drugs, we heard that a king, the first thing I did as a president of the Republic of Liberia, I made sure that I ascertained. Found out it was true. Yes, it was true. When they confiscated the drugs, and I'm talking it, they said, make them talk about, I will talk this. Because nobody from the labor house that really want to get drugs in the country. The security got the drugs. They want to keep it for 24 hours to get to me. And luckily for me, I was on the phone with the defense minister. And I said to him, if you're getting the drugs, you'll go on it the next day. I involved the American embassy and all our international partners to take that drugs to the barracks. The journalists here, they know it's on record, they got video for it. But you know, people have to be honest. Some people are not honest. And they know when they go talk about drugs, they get it on videos. When they burn that drugs in the barracks. So how we allow drugs to come to our country? When I was young in Gibraltar, in the ghetto, anybody that in my generation know 10 used to come in our era. Is today what 10 coming? You have government before. So we know that the drugs issue is our own family that are bringing the drugs. So we do everything to make sure anybody bring drugs. The immigration work is every day. And our responsibility for all of us to do that work. And we do it very well. We do very well in confiscating the drugs that come in to our society. It's an everyday business. We're doing our best. We have record. So don't let them fool you. Some of them will let them bring kush. I'm not a kush smoker. You understand? I don't even know how to call kush. My whole day is why I know that Tabella.
That's the president. He said, I'm not a kush smoker. I don't even know what they call kush. Our government is not responsible saying that his government is not responsible for bringing drugs in the country. We don't know where the drugs coming from, but a $100 million worth of drugs were arrested at the Freeport. Now we are talking about a drugs being arrested at the Roberts International Airport. But he said under his watch, he's doing everything. You know how many drugs that passing through the various borders that are coming in the country? And when the security director was asked by Front Page Africa, in a first statement, the article from the Front Page Africa, it says that Fina Bono, according to Front Page Africa, he said Fina Bono was the one that imported this drugs that we are talking about at the Roberts International Airport. So what is Mr. Weah saying here, Darlington? this president we are in reaction to the drugs issue.
When you hear public okra to say that you are bringing drugs into the country, it's because, Mr. President, you are the president of the country. The doctrine of respondent superior rests upon the shoulders of the presidency. You are the leader of the country. If your deputies are not working, if the people at the airport, they are making you look bad and they are allowing drugs coming into the country, and you sit there and do nothing, you facilitate criminal activities. Because you appointed these people, Mr. President. In fact, you listen to the airport security, he said they are arrested, drug before money laundering. Then the journalist asked him, so what have been the outcome of those cases? He said, well, when we arrest them, well, all the government decided to do in our business. Really? So the airport security is saying that they are arrested people before with drugs, with money laundering. And then the guy said, but well, how far have those cases gone? No prosecution. You are the president of the country. Nobody said that it's not possible, right? Because let me fair to the conversation. That the president will know about every narcotic that is brought into the country. He may know about major consignments. Because nobody will say $100,000 worth of drug to a country that are brought and the king is not aware. The king of the country needs to be aware. Mr. Weah might have been doing this thing for for the drug cartel, helping them with his friends at the different port of entry. Because when these consignment come, they don't go through the regular security protocols. It took the intelligence of the Americans to even intercept that level of drug was coming into our country. But look at our country. Where were the young people that take money from to go buy $100 million worth of drug? They will smash people phone on Broad Street. When they habit getting their on them, they will visit people under the cover of darkness. They will bang on doors. So, Mr. President, you're not proactive. Send the guy to my man. No reshuffle. He has not fired nobody for corruption, no investigation, nothing. The president believes that everybody is working. Send the president always love to use the footballing analogy. Mr. President, you are coach of this team. You see that some of your players on the team, they are struggling on the pitch. But yet still, you don't want to bring your substitute on the bench because the president knows about these things. Every time they talk about drug importation, in fact, the people who allowed that $100 million worth of drugs from the Freeport, do we hear anything about them, Bueka? Did they lose their jobs?
No.
Okay.
No.
So even saying Fremont, I'm yet to see where this other investigation will go. I am yet to see where this other investigation is going to go. So for the president to be making these kinds of excuses, it doesn't suffice. And the people know because you are leader of the country is on your watch. Mommy, I left the country just a few years ago and I'm hearing about Kush. I don't even know what it looked like. I don't know what it looked like, Bueka. Just a few years ago, it's not that drug is the first time that I've been peddling in the country. In fact, the last time on the show, before we begin the drug conversation, we even said, even Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, one of our chief security used the presidential motorcade at the time to export marijuana to Cape Mount. And he was arrested again by the DEA.
Yeah.
The president will not know about everything that's going in the country. But when those issues are brought up to the president, what do the president do? The president, can he subject them to investigation? The Minister of Justice. Is he a serious man that want to, to ensure that criminals get prosecuted under the laws of our country when they bring in these things to our borders? But the president allowed these things to pass because the president probably don't care about the country or he know what is going on. He don't take no action, Bueka.
And Mr. President, if I was in your shoe, I would take action now. It's been alleged that your chief of protocols is involved in this case. The best thing you can do, let her step aside for now. Let her go and exonerate herself from this case and let the Liberian people know that she's not part.
Even the Minister of Justice, the Minister of Justice, or the police even need to muster the courage to invite the president, protocol, Madam Bono, to questioning. They need to invite her. Maybe it is lie. Let her go to the police station to clear. Because you see, Bueka, if this thing was somebody from the opposition, they were going to definitely go after everybody need at the call to say, come to the police station for questioning. You know that the system love to humiliate people, eh?
Yeah.
When you used to be in government before your knee is being alleged, it's a drug business. They want to show that nobody is above the law. They want to put you in handcuffs and go ask a question too. So let the president do the honorable thing. The Minister of Justice need to investigate people named that have been mentioned. That's why it is called investigation. It is not an indictment. When you do investigation before people get indicted and criminally charged, for them to quote a criminally indicted. That's how it works. So investigate these people first to see whether there's any ground that you can prosecute these people on. But the system don't even have boss to investigate. Bueka.
So this is where we are, folks. On the issue about the Just case, this is where we are, and we are letting you guys know we'll be following the case closely. And this case, I think it have overshadowed the entire campaign process now in our country.
Man, what we are going to say the drugs.
I'm telling you.
Yeah,
it have overshadowed. And the amazing Bond County, he will be coming back today to head for the United States of America. So, and the former vice president is staying in the sub-region. He will be coming back, I think, tomorrow or Saturday to get prepared for their upcoming event on Sunday. So
Darlington, did Brother call up his campaign, or it was a plane trip?
No, he left in charge the vice standard bearer in person of Jeremiah Kun is going to be representing him in Cape Mount and Gbapolu for a few days. Yeah, so Jeremiah Kun
did they tell us why he's out? Did he go to raise some campaign funds, or is he meeting with stakeholders in the sub-region?
Yeah,
or what?
Yeah. According to them, he go to raise some funds for the campaign, but they just said they told us the sub-region, be it Nigeria, Ghana. They were not specific. They only said the sub-region. So we can tell you if he's in Ghana or he's in Nigeria. So, folks, we'll open the phone line. You want to open the phone line, or you have something else to add?
Before we open up the phone line, I want to talk about the case involving the former Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, Madam Gloria Scott, who is also, defending Gloria Scott now. Court grants defense independent autopsy on Charlotte Musu Cups. Moreover, Criminal Court A Judge Roosevelt Willie has granted the defense lawyer to conduct an independent autopsy on the remains of Miss Charlotte Musu. The late Charlotte Musu was a graduating senior at Stars University who was killed in cold blood after an new assassination attack on whom of a foster mother, former Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, Gloria Scott, who and others were indicted similarly on criminal charges. According to the judiciary correspondent, the court also gave the defense lawyer the right to another crime scene investigation at the home of the former Chief Justice where the incident took place. The court ruling was on a bill of information filed by the lawyers representing the former Chief Justice and the three other indictments on alleged allegations of murder, in which he has also been charged for telling false statement to the state security in the case of the criminal court in criminal case. Criminal Court A Judge Willie yesterday hearing ruled that the court defense lawyer grant a bill of information but wanted it to be done accordingly. He said the defense termed the right to visit the crime scene and added that it will be done with the representation of the prosecution and the Liberian National Police in the court. Judge Willie Fowler stated that the visitation and the conduct of the autopsy report should include the court, adding that the visitation should be done by Friday, September 5th, 2023. Commenting on the autopsy report, Judge Willie also said that if doctors were to conduct medical autopsy, they will have to be flown into the country and meet all medical requirements by the Liberia Medical and Dental Board before the autopsy report is conducted. The doctor also should possess certificates concerning autopsy and recognized medical institution. The doctor will also have to meet all medical requirements necessary to having eligible to conduct such autopsy, to perform an autopsy, said the judge. Criminal Court A judge order, another autopsy. So basically, the judge is also stating that he granted the defense bill of information to have a second autopsy report done. And I don't know who is going to be paying for this. Maybe the defense, is going to be flying in their own doctor into the country to perform this autopsy report. And the judge is also saying that that person will have to meet all qualification or all standard by the Liberia Medical and Dental Board. That person, I don't know. Again, it is a good thing to do, but I just hope that the certifying of that person should not just be political, especially people at the Medical and Dental Board. If they don't want that person to perform that report, maybe it could be our man. Maybe Rockefeller Cooper might be the one into the country to perform this autopsy, or maybe the family also have another foreign doctor who is also a pathologist to come into the country and perform this autopsy report. But it is very interesting that we keep an eye on this case, and I think so far, Madam Gloria Scott, her trial is moving on. I mean, I want to say very speedily, but promptly, as we can see that her bill of information to do a second autopsy was granted by the courts. I think there's a good sense of justice, and we want to follow this case closely and get to the bottom line of it.
Okay, so that's it, folks. The phone lines are now open. +231 888 624171. Today we'll take 1 minute per caller, because we have a very long line. And you open the phone line here, people started calling. +231 888 624171. We are taking 1 minute per caller. Once again, 1 minute per caller. Let's take our first call here. Good morning. Welcome.
Good morning, brother. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty well.
Hashim Family calling from Allentown, Pennsylvania. Brother, the case is not going nowhere, my brother. So long as the person is in the government, it's not going nowhere. If it was opposition, then that person have the chain on their hand going to the police station. So all I can say is that it just started for our country. We just pray that this dead man, your family to sit down.
Okay. Thank you so much. We take another person, like I said, a minute per caller, 0770 102 102 86 0103 555 102 102 are the lines that you can call this morning. You'll be live with us on the Costa Show. We talk wide range of issues here this morning. Which one you want to make your point on, you can call in and be a part of the discussion. We talk about the Jaws case at the Roberts International Airport. We have people now that are wanted by the police and the joint security, the LDA, and others security apparatus of the country. So you cannot place in your calls. +231 888 624171 0770 102 102 86 0103 555 102. And once again, okay, let's take this call here. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Bagay.
Your name is joining us from?
This is Prince Jacob calling from Indianapolis.
Okay.
My thing is, what I really want to say about, we just want to see if we can get a footage from the burglary. If they can show that to us, that would be really good. They should not just come and say somebody went the burglary, but at least if they can show the footage, that would be good. That's my take.
Okay, and that makes sense because there have been no photo from them. They need to come up with a photo, but they are saying that nothing got stolen from the area. They put a burglar around the area, but nothing got stolen. I say, okay, no problem. This is the government for you. So we are taking some more calls. Let's take this person here. Good morning.
Good morning, brother. How are you?
Doing pretty well. Welcome. Your name is joining us from?
Thank you. My name is John Moore calling from Nairobi, the city of Nairobi.
Okay.
Thank you for the hard work. Just want to take note of the fact that we got some similar reliable information from the media that the papers for the person to whom the so-called Morella deliver coached was consigned to, the names in Abono appeared on the papers. So at this point, it remains an allegation. But I understand also that such information was distributed to almost all of the important media outlets in this country. So I don't know what your information has provided you, but it's important that all relevant media institutions take note of this issue to find out whether indeed is true that Finabono is on his paper. It's no secret because they have supplied the paper to all of the relevant important media. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, thank you so much. But we are seeing the paper, we are seeing the things flying around. We can authenticate whether it is true that paper is from the LRA or the Roberts International Airport. We just can't say that because somebody can go and create anything. If we know or we are seeing it from a reliable source that we can depend on and say, yes, this document is true, we can flag it out without Finabono now they want to pay our fees here to say, oh, we can't be a threat to Nemo and Shimo. No. But we are seeing it fly around because we saw another document too fly around from the government angle that, oh, this is the real document. They want the other people posting a fake document. So now, until we can get our hand on the real document, We will not talk about that here and come and say, oh, it is true or not. So we'll leave it as it is, and it is flying up until we get the real document. So we are still taking your phone calls this morning. Plus 231 888 6241 7102070 are the lines that you can call this morning. You will be live with us on the Costa Show. Yeah, so this morning, place in your calls, or those that back home here can also call in. Let's take this person here. Good morning.
Good morning, Boaka Kamara, and good morning to Dadita. Boaka, I just want to say, my name is Jerry. I'm calling from New Jersey. I just want to say to you this morning, you guys are not being fair to the public in the other world. Because even if you have the information from Spoon, Spoon is a credible network. Spoon will be the only network that will discuss the issue. Even if you don't want to discuss it, you can say alleged, but you still have to discuss it. It doesn't matter. You can say alleged. Use the word alleged. Waka. You can say we can't discuss it because we want it for a credible network. So are you discrediting Spoon? It's not fair, man. We can't do this for the country. We can't do that. Okay. Have a good day, brother. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you so much. Darrington, what you going to say about this? You want us to go into this?
No, I mean, we've talked about this. I don't know how much this guy wants us to talk about this. We referenced the source Spoon TV, but we cannot speak to it as an authority. The first day the news broke, we spoke to it. In fact, on the show here, we basically explained about the guy who mentioned Fida Bono name, and we continue to say that he should be subject to investigation. We have said that. I don't know what more you want us to say. We cannot say the document that Spoon, it is not in our place to say that the document that Spoon never put out, it is real or it is fake. The source of that document is the LRA. It is the LRA who can issue those kinds of documents for shipping and consignment. So if the LRA can tell us whether the document is real or is fake, well, until that we can really validate whether the document is real or so. But her name has been mentioned, and it's more grounds enough for the authorities to probe her or to have her investigated. Because again, like I said, maybe she's involved. How will we know? The authorities need to also investigate her so we can know who is saying the truth or who is making up something here.
All right, so folks, we stay taking your calls plus 231 888 624171. Okay, folks, we saw a document from Spoon. Yeah, Spoon FM people says that Mr. Nora Fina Bono name is allegedly she was the one that having a consignment that were coming for the Moringa leaf. Previously they said our Moringa leaf, later on it turned to Kush. According to them, let me show you the documents, but we can verify here. As you can see, this is the document. Yes, you can see you are seeing Spoon there, and let me zoom it to where Nora Finabondo. As you can see, here is it, Finabondo. As you can, are you seeing it there? Finda Bondo. Her name is there already. That she was the one that sent for this item, and she was to receive this item at the Roberts International Airport. This is the document that Spoon Network posted. As you can see on it is there Spoon, meaning they are the one that posted it. Fina was to collect this consignment from the Roberts International Airport, and there's another document too that is circulating around by the government propaganda arm that Fina name is not on. So, folks, we can say it is true or not. Let's take this call here. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, welcome. Your name is joining us from?
Yeah, good morning, Boaka. Good morning to Darrington. My name is Gloria Scott, and I'm calling from Italy. I agree 100% with Darrington there in the studio. Until those documents that come from the DEA or the IRA it's never valid. It's never valid. You know, everybody in Liberia, what is going on between the government and the school TV. So if you come out and say, school TV is a criminal media outlet, so everything coming from there, we should discuss it. I mean, we know what is going on between the school TV and the government. So I thank you for the show, and I very agree with Daniel for this morning. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you so much for that input. Let's take somebody from this line. Pangomo, good morning. Welcome.
Yeah, good morning, Editor. Good morning, Bakai. Good morning to Nigerian people. My brother, Nigeria become job making factory. I wouldn't say it's the Bogori that told me if they took anything for us to have say, they would never admit to people that they have took anything off. That's was laid off. They took everything from inside there. Okay? The government and whether the people on the block, because government never shoot anybody, put anybody on fire squad. He never dismiss anybody for drug business. This particular one, Peter Bonner, will be arrested in Hego. And the king was son of my son. The bonnet one will be in the glory here. Yes. He will be arrested.
All right. Thank you so much. So let me say, I can be bold to you. Let me tell you this. I am being real here. Why am I so skeptical in believing the documents that is coming from Mr. Stanton Waterspoon and his Spoon TV? Mr. Stanton Waterspoon is already in a case with the government of America on the scene about fraudulence. They are having a serious issue about him getting involved in fraudulence. So just taking a document from him to come and publish here on my institution or my show, let me not lie to you. Buakai Amara Kamara, I will verify every document that is coming from him before airing it on my platform. You can take it anyhow you feel like taking it. I am not discrediting the entire Spoon network. Don't get me wrong. But the individual that is bringing this particular document, he's in a work with the U.S. government already on the issue about fraudulence. So you want for me to come and sit on my platform and take something that somebody that has already been charged with fraudulence by the U.S. government to come and air on my show. Then tomorrow, y'all will be the same people on this platform telling me, say, I should have known better. Please, I beg you, when you want to put yourself into something, I'm far away from it. I will verify everything that will come up from there before airing it on the platform. That's what I would do as an individual. So, Danito, you want to come in on that?
And somebody said, whether we don't believe the credibility of the document that Spoon released. Look, let's be honest. If you want to talk about credibility, Stanton is not a credible person. We don't want to deal with character excesses. But like Becca said on the show, when document emulated from that platform, we're going to verify it before we release it on here. Because under the law, like that's credibility of the witness. The guy who is alleging that this document emulated from the LRA, his credibility is also on the line for another issue of forgery in this country. So wherever document he posts, it's not that we can take his information. Because somebody who have been lying, they could lie for 100, they could lie for 5 years, but one day they could say the truth. So maybe this document that he released is also truthful. What we are saying on this platform is that we'll verify it and we'll authenticate the document to know whether it is factual or true. Or it's lie. If it's lie, we'll come in. If it's factual, we'll use this very platform and say, well, we investigated this document and it showed that it is actually true that on the bill of consignment, Madam Bono was the one who supposed to receive the consignment. But we're not just wrong with anything that any network put up here. We have not been doing it that way, and we'll not do it that way here today. So the credibility of what he released, it's good. He can put it out, but we're also going to verify it.
Let's take Thomas.
Henry Costa credible. Henry Costa have never been criminally indicted anywhere for document or forgery.
Darrington, Mr. Thomas William, welcome to the show. You are live.
Yeah. Boga, you kept me on the line for a long time. I have to call the food off.
Yeah, sorry about that. Sorry.
Good morning. Yeah, good morning, Morgan. Good morning, Mr. Collins, Darlington Collins. Boga, look, this, they understand something. They put things into context. So even when the whole thing happened, then I don't think the Costa Show should even discuss this. If it is the premise that you want to lay, that because it comes from somebody who is not credible, then you don't have to discuss it. You only got to wait for the court. Even when they said, when the news broke out that there was a drugs confiscated at RIA, you shouldn't have discussed that because it was the same allegation. You just have to wait for the court. Let me learn on this. Let me learn on this. You know?
Yeah,
let me lay my point. Let me lay my point.
Chief, listen, we have to correct you.
There's something they call circumstantial evidence. Circumstantial evidence are instances or situations that lead to ruling in the court. You understand? You don't need to.
Now what's circumstantial evidence? Don't bring that in here, man. I'm a legal student.
You have the time to totally learn on this. If when the drugs are confiscated, the government issued press release that it wasn't drugs. They brought people, even somebody was in the camera in the video eating the grass, said that moringa. The same government came back after less than 24 hours and said, "Oh, there was drugs." Do you need Spoon ever to validate? So even if I don't agree with Spoon to be an indicted American or individual or person of interest in America, but just the way the government handled the case, you said, "Oh, there were no drugs," and after 24 hours, you said there is drugs. So what Spoon did was just a validation, just by common sense. By common sense, you can validate Spoon. Even if you listen to the beginning, let me learn 1 second. When you listen to the beginning of the whole story, the guy, Mr. Freeman, when he was first called, he said, Finabono. He's the first person that mentioned Finabono. So when Spoon released document that is showing Finabono, it's a circumstantial evidence. Oh, yeah, the guy they called the security. The security manager called Finabono. Yeah.
Thank you, Thomas William. And I don't know why you guys take it, because the thing is that, Darrington, we've been talking about this case since the news broke out. We've been talking about it, but now the document that is flagging up, that is coming out, I'm not saying it is not true. Don't get me wrong. I'm not discrediting the entire Spoon management. I'm saying that I'm going to do my fact check about the document that is coming from Stanton, since that Stanton been involved into the forgery. Stanton been involved. I'm not saying that he been involved into forgery. They may be involved into, you know why they make him go and tell people to create document, or he can sit down and create his own document because he want to make things here in the government be okay. So he can do anything. He can do anything. So you guys.
Let me say something to Tom Will. Tom Will, on this platform, rule number 1 is that you don't tell us what to discuss. When this news broke, it was not reported alone by Spoon at the time. It was reported by Front Page Africa. It was reported by the Analyst newspaper. It was reported by the New Dawn newspaper. So those were our citing sources. And when the news broke, we presented the news to you undiluted. The guy who is the chief security at the RIA, when the security forces arrested him, he said that the moringa leaf belonged to Finabono, and we said it here on the platform. But this guy. Is this guy war against the arresting officer war, the lieutenant colonel from the Armed Forces of Liberia? So you can come on the show here and please, when you call Tom Will, speak to the general knowledge of things, right? Don't talk about that why you call circumstantial evidence. That's not why I studied evidence, okay? Don't bring that here. Circumstantial evidence, that's not why it means. Circumstantial evidence meaning the police, so there are kinds of evidence, right? When a particular item exists, it is called direct evidence. There is direct evidence linking somebody. It is not a circumstances or happenings around a crime scene. Like a case of circumstantial evidence could be Chief Justice Gloria Scott, right? The circumstances point to the fact that, you know, only she alone was in the house, so she possibly might be have been the one involved into the murder of Charlotte Musu, and that's why the government is prosecuting her on based on circumstantial evidence. There is no direct evidence linking her to the crime. The knife or the weapons that were used into her murder, they didn't show her fingerprint, you know, that or residues living on those things. So when you call here, don't talk about that circumstantial evidence. Please don't do that. They arrested the item. The item was arrested with the chief security of the LRA. He's the person. There is a person. There is an item. When they arrested him, he also said that the items belong to Finabono. Is an allegation. So we are not going to say, yeah, wherever Spoon released, we're going to run with it. They see Spoon. Spoon were cool with the government of over 5 years. There were things that they put on their platform. Some of you have a problem with it. So not because Spoon is supporting the major opposition, that means anything they put out, it is deemed as credible. We have to fact check it. And we are not saying it's a lie. If we fact check it and it's true, we'll come here and say the document that Spoon Network released, it is credible. We'll say it.
All right, let's take this person here. Good morning, welcome.
Thank you, brother. Let me say good morning to you and Darrington this morning, brother. Oh, brother, this is Bobby. I will mess up, brother. And following the discussion this morning from my office on what after Chemical, this was SD Koporo. Let me appreciate you guys. Oh, brother, you see today that the drugs are entering this country and our government wants to, more especially people who are caught with it, which was in our we saw documents that were posted on his phone website. So that's what we are asking this president. Are the president very serious when he was signing a drug law today? Because you cannot get people with full or heredity breaking drugs within this country. Then it shows to some of us that president, we are just wanted to mislead the people in this country, that he just wanted to lie to the people, say, inside drug law, drug will be eradicated. How can drug be eradicated? When you get your chief of the woman, which is Finabono or Nimes for all the documents. So you see, yeah, this is a program. We need to be very serious because this government is the government that made Labrador today attain to a trusted point of drug. And drugs in the war is a crime. So we don't want to think. We are asking our people, September 17, let them come on in that number to tell you. Then we will come on our number, September 7. Then the people will see and we will make back to George. We are a one-time president, brother.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Bobby Abel Mesca. Let's go over to the...
I'm going to make a late emphasis on your voice. Let me get sound like Asset Jackson.
Yeah, good morning, brother, and good morning, colleagues.
Yeah, welcome. You're where joining us from?
All right. Ishmael Habib right here, and I'm joining you from Germany.
Okay.
In every shipping and whether airport or seaport, every goods come with a bill of lading. That bill of lading will show you the consignee. The number will speak who owns the item or whatsoever item. That's the first thing. But then the custom broker, there is a custom broker that clear that goods for the consignee because the consignee don't have the court authority to clear whatsoever goods. But that will come back to the document Spoon put up. How can you be talking about shipping, then you writing something with pen writing when the thing is computerized from the airport, that how many packages you get, how many continue, or how many cars. So when they write this thing, I'm not saying that it's true or not. Then we go back to the investigation. The chief security at the airport had all right when the suspicion was raised. He had all right to contact the police and join security. In every security operation, when it comes to that kind of thing, you have to involve all the security apparatus to have a joint security on that kind of operation. Then all of the joint security were there and they declared these goods as Morena tea and what have you. So when you discover that this goods was not Morena tea, it was Kush. That's one thing. And the next thing.
Let me just make the correction. After they have declared the joint security, later on the LDA took sample of the moringa tea as they previously said, and when they told the people, the Liberian public, that they were going to test it to know whether it is a drugs or not through the United Nations UN That's the UNCO, something like that. So the United Nations got involved. They went and tested a particular moringa, and later on came up with a result and saying that yes, it is a drugs. It's not moringa.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then that was a something. And then on the government part, let me play the devil advocate. On the government part, one, this thing was not tested for them to come to the public to know that this was moringa or drugs. That's one thing. But the document Spoon is putting out there. There's another document that I saw with AB show. It shows everything. So the printed document will show the concerns of this goods. Okay. Because everything that you ship will come with a bill of lading and the adamity, and also will make you to have access to the gate pass. Because when you don't put this document
thank you so much. But the problem we're facing on all of the documents being posted, both from the government. Now, you see, when I keep telling you that we need to verify which one of the document is true or not, there are two documents out now, Darrington. One is from the government end that is saying that Noah Finabono is no way or the other related to what been discussed. Then we are seeing another one from Mr. Stanton, Waterspoon, and Spoon. Somebody saying I'm going personal on Mr. Stanton. I'm not going personal. I don't have anything against him. He damaged anything in my country. It's level of he and the American people to handle whatever thing they are handling. I don't have anything against Mr. Stanton. He's a good man. He is a good man. So, but I'm only trying to be, verify things here before coming and put it out on a platform. Tomorrow, you guys will be the same people on this platform are commenting or listening to us saying that, oh, Darrington, you're sat down there, you're allowed people to come and override and whatsoever thing. So the both documents that are out, we will verify those documents, come back to the public. Somebody said Stanton posted, Stanton was the one that they talk about the drugs issue right before other media issue. When they talk about it, I on the show, I don't talk about it until I saw an article from Front Page. From Front Page, I read
other media outlets,
other media institution. I read the article from Front Page Africa on this platform. What am I keep saying Front Page Africa? Because I can stay and depend on it and say, oh, they are the one I'm taking it from. Nobody can hold me responsible for that.
Becca,
nobody.
We have said here, whether or not Finabono is involved, we have said on this platform repeatedly that the most honorable thing that the president can do was to put Madame Bono on administrative leave pending an investigation. It is because it's one thing for people to bring document and say her name is involved. It's not even in the government place to release document and say her name is not involved, right? Because that particular consignment, like the president talking about the bill of sale or the bill of release, whatever document it is, excuse my ignorance, that document will bear the person who is receiving the consignment, their name on it. So it is only the LRA, which is the original source that can source that document, who released that information, can tell us whether the document that Spoon put up, it is valid or not. It is only the LRA. But we have said repeatedly, the honorable thing that the president can do is not to be speaking into whether it is he's the one bringing drugs into the country or not, is to put his chief of protocol and administrative leave pending an investigation. Even the Minister of Justice, the police, right? I think they should call Finabono in to ask her questions about what she knew about it. Extra statements from her, right? Because it has been rumored that the security officer at the RIA named her as the owner of the consignment. We don't know whether it is true or false. The way we can get around it is through an investigation. And we're not just going to believe anything that some media outlet put out because they are believed to be credible. And my man, let's be honest. Certain people should not be speaking to credibility issues. It will not run away or pedal that argument. We will not do that on the show.
All right, we still taking your calls here. +231, and people that say so Baga Front Page Africa credible. Even when Front Page Africa published that article, I kept saying it has been alleged. It has been alleged. Yep. I say 100% true. I say it's been alleged by Front Page Africa that the person that said, Nora Finabono was the one that imported this particular consignment. I said alleged. So I'm not going to take it even from Page Africa and just run with it. I use the word alleged. And those that follow me on the beginning of this particular topic, they know what I said that day. Let's take this person here quickly. Good morning. Hello? All right. Let's take some more calls. +231 888. Let's take James Rattle. Good morning. Welcome. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Baka. Yeah, good morning. Can you hear me, Baka?
You are loud and clear. Welcome.
Oh, thank you. My name is James Ratto Jr., and I'm calling from Atlanta City, New Jersey. Look, Baka, this is my thought. With the drugs issue in Liberia, I think Liberia is being used as a transit point for illicit drugs. And as a matter of fact, I'm not here to actually authenticate the credibility of Stanton document because most of the major platforms they pay to get fight information. But I think the person of interest is Finabondo. It's an allegation. Finabondo should appear before the justice minister or the lawmaker should invite her. But let me tell you, it's not only Finabondo alone.
No, the police, not even the lawmakers, even the police, yeah.
The importation of these drugs into the country, they are bouncing in and out, and not only bouncing in and out. But my point here is, Wakai, our young people, they are also victims of those drugs. I can tell you. And the last time our president was invited, it was a public sentiment that he was invited for question and answer period. Up to this point, we don't know why he was invited for, but Liberia is being used as a transit point. It happened in the 80s. Norica was using the canal to import drugs, major drugs, into the country. The American went after him. And my thing is, we should not just sweep them under the rug. We should make sure we go to the bottom of this thing here so that those that are involved into this thing, so that they can be arrested and charged and put beyond bar. Thank you. Have a great day.
Thank you so much. Now we'll take another person on this line. Good morning. Welcome.
Good morning, Boaga.
Yeah.
Yeah, Boaga, can you give me 30 seconds to respond to Mr. Collins? Yeah, Mr. Collins, by profession, I am an accountant and quality insurance specialist. But as it relates to, I'm not a criminal justice practitioner. And I heard you responding to what I said when I said circumstantial evidence. I spoke in context. When I said circumstantial evidence, it has to do with the involvement of Finabondo in the whole trust saga. How Finabondo got involved? The document you are reading, there's Finabondo name on it. How can you establish that Finabondo was or is linked to this? The fact that the first time the security manager, Mr. Fremont, was interviewed, he said when he got the drugs, he called Finabondo in the article, he asked him and he said Finabondo was responsible for the drugs because he called Finabondo. So when I spoke about circumstantial evidence, in that case, it relates to Finabondo involvement. I'm not discussing the entire case about the drugs, the court, and the put. But it's what I've said.
So let me. You are saying enough. You are saying enough. Yeah. I say enough. Hold on. When you call on this platform, you don't need to be a specialist in. We are not specialists in different field or study or whatever. When you call, you can speak to the merits of what you want to say. But when you start, like me, I'm not an accounting person or quality insurance specialist. But I will not attempt to want to go into a financial management issue or to make financial management analysis. I will explain with my little understanding of economics and trade, the little I know. But to attempt to start going into legal matters, circumstantial, that's why you got circumstantial evidence. And I'm a legal person on this platform, I will checkmate you and I'll provide you the education. I just said to you your analysis about that being circumstantial evidence. That is not true. That is not what circumstantial evidence means. So if you want to counter, I think you should respond to me as an authority in that regard. So I will not go back and forth with you on that. I'm not a financial management person. I will not attempt to be one. So when you call on this platform, you want to speak to legal issues, don't attempt to do that because a lot of people listen to this platform. Some police officers, criminal justice practitioners. So when you come here, where there exists a direct evidence. In fact, there's not even an indictment. Neither exhibits have been admitted into evidence. So what are you citing? There's no possibility. There's no prosecutor that is saying that they're going to use this to prosecute X, Y, and Z. So you labeling their thing as evidence. No, don't do that. That's not how the legal matter work. I beg you, please. Yeah. When you call, just speak to the regular traditional politics of the day.
Let's take 5 more calls. Then we call it a day here. Good morning. Welcome. Your name is joining us from.
Yeah, Boaga, good morning to you. You guys are media entity, and good morning to Darlento calling. And sometimes when the informations come out, you have to do your background investigation. For Spoon Evans to pull a document, this is the same Spoon Evans that lie on William Smith. William Smith worked for the government, but each time in travel, sometimes the government gave per dime. But William Smith could not with Eddie William. Each time, on the amount that William Smith received, like $200, they will make it like $20,000. For that reason, William Smith sued Spoon FM. The station was closed down in recent time. So when Spoon FM's coming with those kind of information, you'll do your own background investigation. And if you listen to the Robert International Airports or security director, the man did not mention about what Finambonos directed him to stop anything. In fact, the man indicated to the public that he was not present when the goods arrived. Okay. And that was not even addressed.
All right, thank you. Let's take another person on this line. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Morning, Boyka.
Yep. Yeah, you might join us from. Welcome.
Good morning. I'm from the United States. I'm actually want to speak on this subject, but I'd like to stay anonymous because I work with the DEA service in Washington, D.C.
Okay, go ahead.
So first of all, the whole drug bust thing is first of all, I'll deal with the paper from the Spoon Network.
Mm-hmm.
In a realistic word, what I'm looking at on the paper, because I'm going over the paper here, everything is a little grainy. I'm not saying the Spoon Network should be credible and not credible, but I'm just going from what I'm reading. In the electronic word, there's nothing should be written down on paper with pen or pencil in such a sensitive case of such. And secondly, everybody that's involved in that case should be subject to suspension. Even what's the name? That lady. She should be on not suspension, but be sidelined or recruit. Kind of like take herself out the case to further examine the case. So as far as the deal go, the first statement I came that it was I'm not sure what the name of the leave is, but as far as the first of all identifying the leave as Morongo or whatever it is, that was premature. That was premature on the government part or whoever did the investigation. In such cases, you don't rush to judgment since the case is so sensitive. You don't rush to judgment by saying it is what it is. You do your proper investigation. You can brief the country and say, listen, this is we found this suspected to be drug. But based on our investigation, we're going to hold all further comments to it till we do our investigation and further proceed with it. So that was the first mistake they made about first coming up prematurely naming it, because you can't tell what it is. Even cocaine here in the United States, when we bust people for cocaine, we like those in the field, we have testing kits. So testing the kit just give you preliminary idea of what it is, but you still can't come up with the fact that it is what it is till you further go down the line and get the accurate lab work done.
Okay.
That's how it's done. So going as far as just naming what it is at first, that's the premature decision they made, which could damage the case. Even if somebody is arrested, they could go and say, well, this is what you said it was, but in further investigation, you came up with something else. So you're saying two different things, and that can be deniable in court. Because you first came out without doing your test. Like even a weed, if weed is found in the states here, we don't just go as weed, even if it smells like weed, because there's a plant in the states that look like weed. It's called oregano. People use it for cooking. Darlington might know exactly what it is. People use it for cooking. So people don't come up with that and say this is what it is. You take your time, do your investigation, especially for a case that is sensitive. So I think on the part, the government wrong for coming up right off the bat and saying, "Oh, this is what it is, and this is what it's not is."
All right.
If something is false suspicious, you do your investigation. So, and with the Spoon situation, I just feel like, and you're looking at a media entity who was once caught on camera trying to set up a Moreno City Corporation individual for stuff. And those are things, so you gotta look at credibility of the case. It is the same as you take somebody to court.
Okay.
If somebody go to court as a witness, and that person is known to be a pathological liar, trust me, the defense attorney going to look at the credibility. So you got to look at the credibility of the Spoon. And I'm not saying the wrong or the right of the paper was authentic, but then the whole thing is just graining. And on both ends, the government made a blunder. Spoon came up too fast. Like everybody came up too fast. And I did watch you and Darlington previous take on it. When you guys spoke on it, you spoke exactly to what you read in the newspaper. You did not go outside saying you did not come up with your own judgment. You went exactly what the paper says. So nobody can say you guys were not talking about it. You spoke on exactly what you read. So the source is not coming from your mouth, but coming from a third party. That's just my point on it. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Darlington, you listen to him. Before we take our last two calls, he made some point. The government made a mistake in a sense that when they announced the arrest of this substance, later on they said, "Oh, it's not drugs, that moringa." Later on they go, what they haven't tested it yet. They went and said, "Oh, it is moringa." Then later on, when they go to test it, they come back again and say, "No, they're not moringa again, like drugs." That was a very big blunder that the government make on their part.
Yeah, I mean, he spoke to basically the technical aspect of how DEA officers are supposed to operate within that scope of training, right? Like he said, when a substance even is deemed to be marijuana, the best place that can label it as marijuana is the laboratory. That's what he said. Sometimes in this country, they will catch people with substance believed to be cocaine. It may look cocaine, it may smell like cocaine. But that's why even at major airports in the United States, they obviously have the testing kit that they can swab it right there and tell you what content it has. But our country is not sophisticated to that level. And that's why, authorities, especially the government, they should be very careful with how they manage these kinds of things. And the most embarrassing thing about it is that the fact that the government would take over 2 to 3 weeks to even inform the public about the kinds of major development at the airport is very disturbing. Why took the government over 24 hours to inform us? How much time you needed to inform the public? Let's say the government
days that they arrested it on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It came out in the news on Monday.
Yeah, it was just so long
and that was bad. Let's take Kev Hassan on this line here. Kev, good morning, welcome.
Good morning, and how are you, Buckeye? First of all, you guys got to listen to the press conference from the Joint Security. When they did the press conference, they saw that it was the moringa. They further went on and say we would take it to the lab, to our lab, and test it. They said that. So we have to listen to it before we come up and say they made a mistake. They said it. That's the first thing I want to take out of the way. Secondly, people want you to talk about what was said and shown on Spoon yesterday. The first thing you have to do, you have to Google the airway bill. What they show yesterday, that's not Liberia airway bill. It's completely different document. It's not there. Liberia don't use that airway bill. You look at it, you will find out that the airway bill is different. So you don't need to ask and wait. Just take your phone, Google Liberia airway bill. You will see it. It will come up. It will come up clear. You will see the entire airway bill, how it look like and everything. So it's different. And second, look at the document. Finda Bondo, don't go as Finda Bondo. She go at Nora Finda Bondo. Finda is a middle name. They misspelled the Bondo. If you look at it, they misspelled her last name. So there's a lot of things you can look at. Look at the document that was on Spoon. You can see it clear.
Okay.
Her official name is Nora Finabonu.
So you want us believe the document coming from the government angle that was posted by Abraham Gonson Wion about the airway bill and disbelieve the one that coming from Stanton Waterspoon and the management of Spoon FM, right?
Now I want for you to do your own due diligence. I want you to Google the airway bill. Don't listen to anybody. Listen to yourself. Google it yourself.
Okay.
That's what you do. Do your own due diligence. Go and Google Liberia airway bill. You look at it. The one that was shown on Spoon yesterday, Stanton show. Look at it and ask yourself and look at the spelling of the names. You look at all those things. These are all the details that you need to look at. Then you get your answer.
All right. Thank you so much. Let's take our last caller here. Good morning. Welcome.
Yeah, good morning. Welcome. Good morning, Darlington. Good morning, everybody. This is Bill Carson calling from his headquarters in Lawsville, Maryland.
Okay.
Look, the airway bill will not look like Liberia airway bill because it came from another country. Period. Okay. The second thing I want to talk about is if you want to learn about drug dealing, just go to Google and put JP Bestman and George Weah. You will read a lot about it. Thank you.
I read that already this morning. Thank you so much. That's our last call, Darlington. We have to climb. We are already out of time.
yeah. It's a great presentation on this morning edition of the Costa Show. I'll be traveling shortly in a few hours. So, I got to go get ready to catch my flight. But again, thank to all of our callers who called this morning on the show. But again, it's on the show, what we do, we fact check, we present the information as it is, undiluted, and we want to inform our people that will always keep you informed about developments and happenings. Like we said, if we verify these documents and they show that Finabonu is involved, we will come here and expose her. But we have said repeatedly that one of the best standard operating procedure to do is to have, especially people around the presidency, if they have been even alleged, named into these kinds of stuff, the president could take administrative action and put them on administrative leave, pending an investigation, so that she recuse herself from her position, because it makes it difficult for the Minister of Justice to even attempt to say you want to investigate the chief of protocol to the president. Imagine that. You know what I'm saying? It's very tough, to say, man, chief of protocol, you are leader at the Liberian National Police for questioning. To answer what? So nobody here is saying that it is true or it is lie. It all remains an allegation that must be investigated, because drug, it keeps on damaging our young people. And it will take us decades upon decades to rehabilitate the already damaged young people. We are all in the phase where the war-affected youth, the child soldiers. Then let alone now they are on drug and they are addicts. It's a huge tax for our country. With less than 26 more days to election, we can now say that Mr. Weah appears to be in hard water, promising that Joel Howard Taylor will continue his third term. Mr. Weah, you should even pray that you survive in October. And lastly, before I leave the show, October 10th will be a memorable day in our country history. It will mark 3 years since Bati Ninswa met his untimely demise. The auditor of Bati Ninswa, where the government could not give proper account of how he was murdered, he was killed. They said he went out with his friends and he lived in a house and never knew that there's a patio, and for some reason he fell out. So October 10, Liberians will make exactly 3 years since Bati Ninswa met his untimely demise. Take that angle to the balabas and make a rational decision on who you want your next leaders to be. It's about time that Mr. Weah, he has reached the end of his line and his call-off time is now near. Let the Liberian people decide who they want to be their leader. So thank you, Buaka, and my man Henry Gandhi will stop, man. I will see you soon, Henry. Yeah. Come in, Kuti, the traveler.
Okay, folks. So thanks so much, Darlington. I will be back here. Darlington will not be with me. Darlington traveling. So I will be back here tomorrow for another edition, the weekend edition.
I might join you tomorrow morning. If all go well, I might join you tomorrow morning.
Okay, no
All
problem.
right,
So
all
we'll be here tomorrow morning to bring you another fascinating discussion. Darlington Collins and I, Boaka Amara Kamara, been here, and we'll give you more update on this case on tomorrow. We'll go and do our own background investigation. We'll come back tomorrow. We'll give you more update on this case. Up until then, it's bye-bye from our end.